Islam Podcast. Den Islam hören und erleben.
Dear Mr. Tariq Ramadan, I appreciate your lecture. It was quite interesting. I have a question concerning Inter-Madhhab-Surfing. And what do you think about this new phenomenon? Do you think that one should follow his own or her own method and practice Inter-Madhhab-Surfing? Or is it also legal or okay, all right, to do it without following a method? To practice Inter-Madhhab-Surfing without having a known method.
Okay. You should add this is the last one. This is not a simple question. The first one is really, I would suggest to every one of us, be sincere with yourself and assess what you know. Are you at the level of Islamic knowledge to be autonomous? Meaning, you can take the text and you have studied enough to be autonomous. The great majority of the Muslims can do this because they don't have the knowledge. So when you know that you are not autonomous, it means by definition that you have to follow someone to help you. Either to be more autonomous or at least to give you the way. So this is your responsibility, is to ask yourself, where do I stand? Some of the scholars are saying you have to follow a madhab. So a madhab meaning the schools of law, to be a Shafi'i or a Hanafi, and others are saying no, you can follow a scholar. Abu Hamid al-Ghazali gave an answer to this by saying if you don't have enough knowledge to be on your own, meaning a mufti mutlaq or muqayyad, meaning that you can express legal opinion on a global or a limited dimension, the best is to follow the imam around you. And the imam you are going to follow should have two characteristics. The first one is his knowledge, his competence, or her competence. And the second is when he gives you an answer, your heart feels at peace. So he's taking two decisions here. Your mind should be at peace and your heart should feel good. This is the good answer. I trust this guy. I trust this answer. So now you don't have one here, but now you live in a global world. You may find a scholar that you feel good when he speaks or when he is delivering, say, this is it. There is competence and there is the right answer. And you can follow a very specific madhab. The point is that you have to be sincere with yourself and consistent. Is to stop, what we have, which is fatwa tourism. Because we have some like this. I have some people very often coming to me, they went to other scholars and they heard, oh, he seems to be very flexible. So I went to him. And they come just to find, in fact, they look at the scholar giving them what they are expecting from him. So tell me what I want to hear. And they have this touristic attitude among the scholars till they got what they get what they want. I think that this is not sincerity. This is out of, getting the simplest answer or the easiest answer. If you are sincere, you follow a scholar, you may follow a school. It's not an obligation to follow a school. Some are saying follow a school if you feel good inside. But you may follow a scholar. And then you have one obligation. Try as much as possible. You or any one of us, try to be the more autonomous possible. It means gain knowledge, to be able at least on the simple thing of your life to get an answer for yourself. And then you are strong enough to go ahead. But to follow, once again, is one thing. You follow someone, you acknowledge his or her competence, his or her way of talking to your heart, but never idealize anyone. You take and you say no sometimes. I was myself educated by very great scholars. Every morning when I was in Egypt, a one-to-one. But on some opinions, I disagree. I say, I don't agree with what you are saying here. Because in Islam, following is always a critical following, not a blind following. I ask you, where do you come from with this answer? And I need the evidence of the scholars. And sometimes I agree and sometimes I disagree. So you yourself, you have to ask yourself, never be blind when you follow a human being. And your worship towards God is always to be critical with human beings. And never forget that the last word of the Quran is always to push you to go to God. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ مَلِكِ النَّاسِ. Is be careful with human beings, even the scholars.
Thank you.
That was a long word. Thank you so very much. Dear Mr. Ramadan, I think you have touched our mind and also